It doesn't quite have the same ring to it than Betamax. Like, beans to the max. That's what it is. I'm always running full power. Which is going to send me to an early grave. As we've established, I'm going to hit the grand old age of about 53, 54, and then that's me. I will be gone. So anyway, so here I was sitting thinking you were Welsh. Turns out this whole time you have an extremely thick and apparent Scottish accent. Colour me surprised. Yeah, I mean, I know that, you ignorant Americans all think that all accents sound the same and they're all Irish and Scottish and we all just talk and we all live in the hills and we all get mountains and we all wear skirts and stuff. But no, I am... Had to wait for Frog and Rhea to come back for Welsh streaming. Yeah, there seems to be a niche. Cheesy, maybe you should pick up streaming. I think that there's a niche there that needs expanded on, and we just need that because we've got streamers from everywhere else, all corners of the world. My blood pressure, yeah, I mean, that's what's going to send me to I am going to die live on stream. That's what's going to happen. We all know it. One of these days, I'm going to take an aneurysm or something's going to happen and I'm going to end up killing her and you're all going to think, he's playing the part, but he's not, he's dead. And, that'll be a sad thing indeed. Or some people might rejoice at the fact. I'm not lying. I'm not the most popular of individuals. But, sometimes I'd like to think that at least one tear would be shed on me. For my death. But two countries, America and terrorists, that is very true. I can't deny it. We are terrorists, we are a threat to you. We don't live your ways. We're not Americans. We are a threat. We are dirty immigrants to your country when we do appear. We take your jobs and stuff like that. But nobody can stay mad at the Scotch or the Irish for that matter. But I believe that we are talking about the reason that there is no bathrooms in the... you should raise the price of conspiracy time because it takes so long. Make it like 10 grand. No, I have spent all damn afternoon moving my office around so that it's here. I am not going to then make it so that it's too expensive for people to then go on and redeem conspiracy theory. People apparently like me rambling on. I don't know why. I hate myself for it, and I can feel myself slowly dying inside every single time that I do end up speaking and going off in one. Traditionally, I do go off in many tangents, but at the core of it, I do, bring it back to the original argument eventually. So let us, begin our conspiracy of why, as one young boy has asked. Why is it that there is no bathrooms or toilet facilities in the Raccoon City Police Department? That is a good question. Many people have asked it. I remember... I think what it was is that when you provide a toilet facility or any kind of area, whether it's a little corner or even a bucket, you often find that when somebody goes in their break, you ever worked with anybody that goes in their break, but they never go to the toilet on their break? They go and they have their break and they get fed and watered, and then they're back at their desk or they're back somewhere, and then 20 minutes later they're like, I need the toilet now, I need to go. And you're like, why didn't you go on your break? Because I didn't need it then. So like, well, you should have went. It says, well, I'm not going to sit there and force it. There's nothing worse than sitting in a toilet pan, right? And you're sitting there and your trousers are down at your ankles, and your boxers are down at your ankles as well. And there, you're trying to force it out, and you just can't. And it's a very awkward and unpleasant. You don't really want to be there for very often. You like your own toilet. That's fine, fair enough. Every person enjoys being in their own toilet pan, but you don't want to really be in a public toilet or your work's toilet for too long. So if you go on your break and you don't feel like squeezing it out, then you have to, it's not very nice. So that's why when you eventually have to go 20 minutes, half an hour later, that's it. You have to go. And you don't just go once. When you start getting older, you start going maybe 2 or 3 times. It becomes a problem that we all face. You just can all snigger and chuckle at it as much as you want, but we will all face that. Anybody that's ever been to, a pub or went out for a couple of drinks or a couple of jars will eventually break the seal and have to go to the toilet multiple times throughout the night. It's a way of life, unfortunately. We humans have to, eject the waste out of our bodies somewhere or another, and when it comes to being in the place of work, think of the amount of time and work that is lost by people going to the toilet on shift. If you count it up, you think, but it's only away for 45 seconds or whatever. But that 45 seconds every single day becomes a lot. You add that up 5 days a week if you work there, then that's quite a lot. It's almost 5 minutes, 4 minutes. And then you add that up and you do that 4 weeks. That's another quarter of an hour, say. And then another month, that's half an hour. And then another 2 months after that, it's an hour. And it adds up over the years. And when you add that all up, you realise that that guy is stealing for the company. Because that's what it is. When you're on your break, you're entitled to do whatever you want. But when you're on the clock, you have to be either at your desk or your typewriter or out walking the beat or out, saving lives or putting, if you're maybe a guy who has to dispose of bombs, you're thinking what wire it is that you have to cut, or you're like me and you're out there trying to save the world by writing newsletters and revealing the truth to people of what's really going on behind the scenes and in the shadows that we dare not look into. And if you add it all up over the years, so much money is being stolen by your workforce. And can you really work alongside somebody shoulder to shoulder, knowing that they have stolen from you, that they have taken literally the piss and went and just disappeared for 30 seconds at a time, and then over the course of a year, hours? They've went off the grid for hours, and you don't want to go in the toilet and knock on the door and go, "Excuse me, Jones, you've been in there for quite a long time. I'm just finishing up. He's in there playing, mobile games or watching somebody on Twitch. He doesn't dare say that he's on the toilet pan, though. That makes it for some very unpleasantries and awkwardness. You don't want to, present live in the World Wide Web that you are actually sitting in the toilet pan. Nothing that I've ever done. I've never went on a Liam the Bemused stream and sat in the toilet with my trousers down by my ankles and watched him play various games and then sit and talk for 5 minutes and watch him as he rated Time Gal and gave her a ridiculous 2 out of 10, and I'm sitting there getting really annoyed, but you can't really do anything because you're on the toilet pan, and if you move then you risk dropping somewhere that you didn't want to drop and you have to then clean it up. I don't want to be like that. I was definitely not that person, and that's why Chief Irons decided, I don't want my staff stealing from me. I don't want them thieving from the company, from the public, from the country, from the town. These people are police officers. They're supposed to go out there and save the day. So I don't want them skiving in the toilet and stealing from the company. Oh god, I'm missing a lot of chat here. Should have known you were a threat when you said you enjoy haggis. No one enjoys haggis unless they're infected with the T-virus. You got me. It's a barefaced lie. I hate haggis. I think that it's an easy thing for somebody pretending to be Scottish to say that they do like haggis. You can spot a fraud. If you want to sit in a room with 12 other people and 2 of them, or if all of them are Scots, and they all say, how can we prove that? If you're trying to figure out what one is the thing, all you have to do, you don't have to do a blood test or anything. All you have to do is ask every one of them, do you like haggis? And the ones that say, oh, of course I like haggis, that's the thing right there. But back on in the argument of Resident Evil, the reason is that he didn't want his staff sitting in the toilet pan watching Liam the Bemused rate Barbarella a 0 out of 10 and then having the audacity to give other ones such higher grades. He didn't want that, so he decided that he was going to implement a no bathroom facilities rule, and that's where it came from. And then what happens is, you look at what they did in the remake, when the new police station decided that they were going to add toilet facilities, what happens? The fucking bathroom floods the left or the right wing of the police station. All because they added the toilet, and what happens is it ends floods it, and the power goes out. So that's what happens. So any of these bourgeoisie that are thinking about starting their own business and employing us good, workers, think about it. If you really want to stop people skiving, then just make sure that you don't give them the opportunity to go to the toilet. That is the true way to win at capitalism. Don't give them the chance, because if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile and piss all over it. I think that has answered your question then of why the RPD does not have bathroom facilities. It's barbaric, I will admit. But the good thing is, all the police officers are now turned into zombies, and none of them care about pissing in their leg or shitting in their pants. That is not a concern to them anymore. As long as they get their quota of brains for the day, then they're quite happy and cheery enough. They're not out there looking for toilets. They're out there looking for somebody to eat. And that is truly the kind of workforce that you want.